Om Namo Venkatesaya. Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnum Shasivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Viknopashantaye Yasyadvarata Vaktradhyah Parishadhyah Parashatam Vignam Nignam Dishadatam Vishvaksenam Tamashe Vyasaya Vishnu Rupaya Vyasa Rupaya Vishnave Namo Vai Brahma Nidaye Vasishtaya Namo Namaha Lakshmi Natha Samarambam Natha Yamuna Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Partaya Pradibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatvamanusangadami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshinim Sarvopanishado Gavo Dogda Gopalanandanaha Partho Vatsasudhir Bhokta Dugdam Gitamritam Mahat Vasudevasutam Devam Kamsa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Om Namo Venkatesaya. Pranams everybody. In the last session we saw the importance of the Mahabharata and then the importance of Bhagavad Gita in that. So let's move on to the Gita Dhyana sloka. Now this Gita Dhyana sloka of 9 slokas was composed by Madhusudana Saraswati. He was a great Advaitin. So he was born in this East Bengal, today in the Bangladesh region. And then he studied in Navadvipa, which is the birthplace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So somewhere about 550 years ago. So this Madhusudana Saraswati was a great devotee of Krishna Paramatma, and therefore he wrote commentary on Bhagavad Gita as such, which was called as Gudhartha Deepika. Guda Artha means the secret meaning, which enlightens, Deepika, which throws light on that the secret meanings of the Bhagavad Gita. That was the name of his commentary. Before starting that commentary, he wrote this the Gita Dhyana slokas, 9 slokas, which we normally go through the Gita Dhyana slokas before we start this, any discourse on this Bhagavad Gita. So let's start with the first sloka of the Gita Dhyana sloka. Partaya pradibodhitam bhagavata narayanena swayam vyasena gratitam purana munina madhye mahabharatam advaitam amartashinim bhagavatim ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatvamanusangadami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshinim. So the predicate is Anusandadami. That means I contemplate on you. That means I meditate upon you. Who? The Bhagavad Gita. Tvam, you. That is Bhagavad Gita is being addressed. Ambatvam. Amba, O mother. Or he is personifying the Bhagavad Gita as Gita Mata. Like, Shruti Mata. The Vedas, we personify as Shruti Mata as Mother Vedas. Similarly, the Bhagavad Gita is being addressed as Amba. That means, O Mother, Tvam, you, Anusandha, I meditate, I contemplate upon. Of course, this Aham is hidden in that, it is latent. So, all the other things are only adjectives for this Bhagavad Gita. So, Bhagavad Gita, O Bhagavad Gita, Parthaya Pradibodhita. So it was given to Partha. Partha is Pratha. Pratha is Kunti Devi is another name. So her sons are called as Partha. Like Dharmaputra, Bhima and Arjuna, they are all called as Partha. So in this case it refers to Arjuna. Parthaya Pratibodhita. So we gave this the piece of advice that was given to Partha by whom? Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam. Bhagavata means Bhagavan. Bhagavan Sriman Narayan. Narayanan Krishnastu, the Bhagavatam says Krishna is Krishnastu Bhagavan Swami. Krishna himself is Sriman Narayana, Purnavatara. Bhagavata, Bhagavan. So Bhagavan we saw in that, Bhagavan, Bhagahan in the Vishnu Sahasranamam, this namas. Bhaga refers to 6 qualities. The Bhagavan has many Kalyana Gunas. After them, 6 most important is Jnanam, Balam, Aishwaryam, Viryam, Shakti, Tejas. These are the 6 qualities Bhagavan possesses, and therefore is called as Bhagavan. Bhagavata, by Bhagavan. Narayanena. He himself is Sriman Narayana. Narayana is Naranam Ayanam Yahasa Narayana. That means he is the ultimate refuge or abode. In fact, this second question was Kimvapyekam Parayanam, who is the ultimate refuge of everybody, ultimate residence of all the people, and that's what is Narayana. Narayana meaning is he is the ultimate refuge or the resident place of all the people. So ultimately we all go and completely take shelter in him. That is what is called as Narayana. Bhagavata Narayanena, so he himself was Narayana. Sri Krishna Paramatma Narayanena Swayam. Then it was given by Bhagavan to Arjuna. But then who compiled it? Vyasena Gratitam. So the Vedavyasa has compiled it in Purana. He is also called as Purana Muni. Purana Muni means two meanings. Purana Muni means Pura api Nava. Pura means is old, at the same time Nava new. Because whatever scriptures which are we see thousands and lakhs of years old, but still when we read today, it looks as if it's new to us, because we get new insights into whatever is being talked of in this. So that's why it's called as Purana. So he was one of the oldest Muni, and therefore it's called as Purana Muni. Or he was the person who gave this 18 Puranas to all of us, and therefore he's called as Purana Munina. So Vyasena Purana Munina Graititam Madhye Mahabharata. That means in the middle of Mahabharata. So Vyasa Muni kept this Bhagavad Gita in the middle of this Mahabharata. That's why I told you in the 6th Parva of the Mahabharatam, this contains this Bhagavad Gita. Madhye Mahabharatam. Advaitam Amrita Varshini. Advaita means it talks about the Bhagavan's Bhagavan as the Brahman is the only person who is there. There's no he only manifests as different things, and therefore he is called as Advaita. There is in fact Adi Shankara Bhagavad Padal in his Brahman, there is Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. That means the outside world, whatever we see is only an appearance. Like when you go, I mean the example is the snake and the rope. So in the morning around 5:30 or 5:40, before it completely dawns, in the twilight you go there, you find certain things which is coiled around. You think it may be a snake, so you just go a little away from it and then go for a walk and come back. When you come back, you find the same thing coiled around. So since it is now dawned, its daylight is there, so you go near it to see what it is. Then you found it was only rope. Even earlier it was a rope, but then the rope gave because of the darkness, it gave lent to the feeling that it is a snake. So similarly, this world also, because of its ajnana, we think it to be different, but once the true knowledge dawns in, the entire world, that's what in the first nama is Vishwam. Mahavishnu is the entire universe itself is Bhagavan himself, and therefore Advaita. So that knowledge is what Bhagavad Gita gives, Advaitam, Amrita Varshini. That means it is showering that kind of immortality. Amritam, that is this immortality is being showered by this Bhagavad Gita, because it's giving that knowledge. With that knowledge, completely the ignorance is gone and we become immortal. So Advaitam Amrita Varshinim Bhagavati. So that means it is the feminine gender of Bhagavan. So the Bhagavad Gita has also got the same qualities of Bhagavan, and therefore it is called as Bhagavati. Ashtadashadhyayinim. So that means it has got this 18 chapters. Ashta Dasha. Dasha is 10. Ashta 8 over 10 is 18. 18 thus 18 Adhyayas is contained in this this Bhagavad Gita. In fact, it's quite interesting to see the Mahabharata itself has got 18 parvas, starting from this Adi Parva right up to this Swargarohana Parva. So that means this is 18 parvas. Similarly, the battle was fought for 18 days. Bhagavad Gita contains 18 days. Some of the devotees of Ayyappa will say that the Bhagavan in this Ayyappa, this Sabrimala, you have got this 18 steps. What is the significance of this 18? 18 refers to Jayam. So in fact, Mahabharatam itself is called as Jayam. That's why this famous sloka which you chant, Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudir. In this case, Jayam Mudir means before you talk about Mahabharata, you must think about what? Narayanam Namaskritya. Now you should worship Naranam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam. So you should think about the Nara and Narayana, the twin Narayana, which is Arjuna and Krishna. Narayanam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim. So you should worship Devi Saraswati. And then the Vyasa Bhagavan who gave this Mahabharatam, Jayam, then only you can start talking about Mahabharata. That's what Jayam refers to Mahabharata. Now this word Jaya is called Ja plus Ya. Ja is the 8th letter in the Vargiya consonant. That is Ka, Ka, Ga, Ga, Nga, Cha, Cha, Ja. So that means it is the 8th. Ya refers to the Avargiya, this consonant Vyanjanam. It is the first letter, Ya. So that means 8 followed by 1 is the Jaya, if you put numerals. But in the Sanskrit, you read the numerals from the right to the left, and therefore 1 plus 8, 1 and 18, that is what it is called as 18. So 18 always refers to victory, and that's why Bhagavan, after the end of the 18 chapters, the Arjuna says, Nashto Moha Smritir Labdha. That means Tvatprasadat Mayacha. That means all my delusion is completely gone. He has gained victory over his, this mind. Ashtadasadhyayam. That's why it is called as Ashtadasadhyayinim. Ambatvam, O mother, Anusandha, I meditate upon you. Bhagavad Gita, O Bhagavad Gita. Bhavadveshinim. Bhavadveshim. Bhava means refers to the samsara chakra. The Bhagavad Gita is always against the samsara chakra. That means it wants to remove the ignorance. As long as ignorance is there, you will always be in this samsara chakra, and it wants to remove the ignorance. That's why it is Amrita Varshini. And therefore, this Bhagavad Gita, my salutations to you. That's what or meditate upon you. That's what this first sloka is. So let's just summarize the first sloka. I contemplated upon Bhagavad Gita, O Mother Bhagavad Gita. I am contemplating upon you, who the Bhagavad Gita was given by Bhagavan to Partha, the Arjuna, by Bhagavan Sriman Narayana himself. It has been compiled by the Purana Muni Vyasa in the middle of Mahabharatam. And this Bhagavad Gita showers the, this Amrita Varshini. That means it is immortality, the nectar of immortality, and it is the knowledge which gives the Advaita knowledge. And then it is possessed of all these qualities of a Bhagavati, and it goes 18 chapters, and it is antithesis to this in the samsara chakra, to that Bhagavad Gita. I meditate upon that. That's what is a summary of the first sloka. Om Namo Venkatesaya. Vasudev Vasutam Devam Kamsa Chanura Mardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru.